check this picture out. There's the still shot of Gooni 2-time getting slapped. Okay? Now, pack that up. Now I'm going to show you, here comes the brawl that happens after the slap. Check it out.
Before we even get into this clip, I need you to hear me out, because the way this whole story has been told in the media is straight up misleading. They're making it seem like a bunch of black folks just jumped some random white guy out of nowhere in Cincinnati. That's not what happened. And when you see the real footage, you're gonna understand why people are upset. This wasn't some random attack. This all started when a man, and let's be clear, he's not even American, he's Russian, walked right up to a young black man and slapped him across the face. Yeah, slapped him. And you already know, that's not something you just let slide. But here's the thing, the news left that part out. They didn't show you the beginning. They didn't show you what sparked everything. They just showed you the part that makes us look bad, without any context. So before you judge, before you decide what you think happened, watch this. Watch the whole thing. And remember, there's always more to the story than what they put on the news.
Y'all hold up for a minute. Let's talk about Cincinnati, Ohio. Cause that little white boy, old man, whatever you want to call him, was not innocent. That white boy reached and slapped the brother in the red shirt across the face and started the fight. Now, they may have had words for 20, 30 minutes. I don't care. He reached and put hands on the black man first. And then he got his ass handed to him. As far as the lady getting hit, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. But what I don't agree with is white women and their just ability to have to get into the middle of two grown men fighting. Let him get his ass whooped. I don't care if you love me, whatever, just stay back. Just stay out of it. Because when they get hit, then it's a problem. Now, that was a direct attack on her. She got knocked the fuck out. And that was on purpose. But she should have stayed back at that point. Situational awareness, people. Do not jump in there. And I'm betting all of them dudes, had they kept their mouth shut and walked the fuck on, wouldn't have started. I'm sorry, but that was not just a group of random brothers walking down the street looking for some white boys to beat up on. That was a bunch of motherfuckers bumping them gums until he reached and swatted that old boy's face and slapped him across the face, and then he got his ass handed to him. That wasn't a race crime. That wasn't no hate crime. That was an ass whooping. He should have never put his hands on that brother. If they disagree, and I have disagreed with plenty of brothers in the street, I ain't put my hands on none of them. We talk it out like men. Now, after the first punch got thrown, no, that was some bullshit. I don't agree with a crowd jumping on people. I don't agree with them trying to pickpocket the dude, steal his wallet in the middle of the street while he's knocked the fuck out. Those dudes need to go to prison. But slapping him and starting the fight, that was all on the white dude. Sorry. And I ain't 100% sure, but I don't think they was white. I don't think they was white. Nah. Don't look like it. But why was they starting shit? Somebody bumped into somebody? Who cares? The white boy slapped the brother across the face and got his ass whooped. That's justifiable.
So the Cincinnati mob beating viral video of some white folks, I think a husband and a wife, or two dudes, and one of the dudes' wife got the holy shit kicked out of them by a group of black folks. But the media is not telling you what led up to this incident. They're portraying it and playing it as this was just a mob attack, a jumping of some white folks by a group of black folks. So I wanted to wait until I had some more of the backstory before I came in front of my followers here to let y'all know what was really going on. So I'm going to show you some receipts. I'm going to show you some still shots, and about 2 videos. So just stick with me as we break this down, because I think it's really important for race relations and tensions and stuff like that here in the United States of America. So first of all, I grew up in the hood. Every fight, there's somebody gonna jump you. Okay, let's just put that out there. But I do not agree with the mob mentality at all. I'm all about the 1-on-1 or the 2-on-1 or whatever. But the whole mob mentality, I don't agree on that or with that at all. Okay, with that said, understand what led up to this. The news, and I'll show you the clip. The news is showing you what happened after the spark, showing you just these folks beating the shit out of these people in the street. What they not telling you, what they not showing you, is this white dude that started the fight actually started it. It was one of the white guys. The white guy slaps this young black dude named Gooni 2-time. Now, Gooni 2-time is like saying Pookie and Ray Ray in any hood. Gooni 2-time is known in the streets in Cincinnati. He's mentally disabled, okay, mentally challenged. His street name is Gooni 2-time, and everybody know him. Well, this white guy was up in his face, calling him the N-word and all this, and then he slaps Gooni 2-time. From slapping Gooni 2-time, that's when the mob attack, the jumping, the brawl started. So check this picture out. There's the still shot of Gooni 2-time getting slapped. Okay? Now, pack that up. Now I'm going to show you, here comes the brawl that happens after the slap. Check it out. All right, now let's see how the news is portraying it. Check this out.
Unbelievably vicious video. This is very tough to watch. I got to warn you. In Cincinnati. This man was beaten in the street in Cincinnati over the weekend. The police say 5 suspects are facing charges. They're asking others to turn themselves in. Then a woman who tried to defend him also was punched and knocked out cold.
Now you know what you didn't know. Do you believe this mob attack, this brawl, was somewhat justified because of what happened to Gooni 2-time? Or do you believe that this was just a mob mentality of some young black folks and they need to go to jail? Let me know in the comments.
But I want you to imagine for just a second, ladies and gentlemen, if the races were reversed.
Shut your up. It's willfully ignorant troglodytes like yourself is why I left the Republican Party and went full libertarian. If the races were reversed, we'd be hearing you calling black people snowflakes when they responded on social media with outrage. We would hear you judging the victims even if the only thing they had in their criminal background was a parking ticket. You would have said something along the lines of those black people f***ed around and found out. Or they played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. In our news feeds, we would be force-fed a plethora of anti-black talking points from conservative media. The whole race would be held accountable in its entirety for one black person who threw the first punch. No, there would not be riots and cities burnt to the ground. We saw a hate crime in Buffalo, New York back in 2022. No riots, no cities were burnt down. We saw a hate crime that took place in Jacksonville, Florida at the Dollar General in 2023. No riots, no cities were burnt down. Also in Jacksonville, Florida, we saw a black serviceman taken out by the police in his home. No riots, no cities were burnt down. Also in 2024, we saw Sonia Massey get taken out by the police in her home. Guess what? No cities were burnt down, no riots. However, Ashley Babbitt gets sent to meet her maker by the police while entering a secure government area, and I bet you're one of the many troglodytes calling her a patriot and a hero. Where you and I may be on the same political aisle, I can honestly say you and me are not the same. I didn't draw that line of division. You did.
Only in America, a Russian immigrant can come to the United States of America, go to a black event, start a fight. Russian white immigrant comes to a black event, starts a fight with black people, gets roughed up a little bit. He don't even get his ass whipped. And the white patriots who claim to be patriots, who claim to be anti-immigration or anti-immigrant, who want to deport all these people, are going to take the side of the white immigrant instead of the black people from the United States of America. Somebody make that make sense to me. and they're going to try to win an election on it. Somebody make that make sense to me, while white America patriots will take the side of a Russian immigrant over black people. And now you don't understand why black people don't trust the Republican Party. This is a point in case. Fix yourself, baby.
Now that y'all have seen the full footage, tell me this. Does this look like some random, unprovoked attack? Or does it look like somebody got exactly what was coming to them? The media's been running with this story like it was a hate crime, painting this picture of black folks just ganging up on an innocent man. But let's call it what it really was. Self-defense. Nothing more, nothing less. This wasn't about race. This wasn't some coordinated attack on a white man. First off, the guy's not even white. He's Russian. And second, he started it. He slapped that young black man first. Not only that, but witnesses say there were racial slurs being yelled before things went left. That's adding gasoline to a fire. When you push somebody's buttons like that, when you cross that line physically and verbally, you can't act shocked when people react. That's not how real life works. People are human, and when you disrespect them, hit them, and humiliate them in front of others, you might get checked for it. Now, they've arrested 3 people in connection with this fight, and honestly, I hope those charges get dropped, because if you look at the facts, this was self-defense and community defense. They didn't go looking for trouble. Trouble came to them. And instead of the news showing you the truth from the very beginning, they chopped it up, cut the context, and pushed a narrative that makes us look like the aggressors. This is why we've got to be careful about believing everything we see in a quick 15-second clip on TV or social media. The truth is almost always deeper than that. And too often, when it's a black person involved, the story gets twisted before we can even speak up. That's why it's important for us to tell our own stories, show our own receipts, and protect our own narrative. Because if we don't, somebody else will, and they'll tell it in a way that makes us look guilty from the jump. So here's my take. This wasn't a hate crime, not from the black folks involved. This was a reaction to an act of aggression and disrespect, and the woman should have stayed out of it. Period. And if you take away anything from this video, let it be this. Always look deeper than the headlines. Always ask for the full video. And always remember that context is everything. Let me know in the comments how you see it. Do you think those charges should be dropped? Do you think the media should be held accountable for twisting this story? Because I've got more to say. And trust me, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Until next time, stay informed, stay aware, and stay real. And I'll see you in the next one.